what I'm doing today. I have been thinking a lot about the past 4 years of my program and how things have gone, how things are going. I finally had my last day of practicum of the 4th year, and so I've just been thinking about like how I feel going into this internship. And something that, we talk a lot about imposter syndrome and not feeling like you are competent in some of your skills or blah blah blah, and I think it's unfortunately very common in graduate school and doctoral programs, and I think especially in applied psychology programs like clinical counseling school. There are so many things we're trained to do in like practica, and then we go off on internship. And for me, all of these practica experiences have been in different settings. So I spent 3 years in schools, I did 1 year of private practice, and for internship, I'm going to a children's hospital. I'm doing pediatric psychology, and that's very different for me. And as I'm kind of thinking about the past 4 years and how I've had a lot of feelings about my own competence in my ability to practice. I feel like school psychology is an area I'm very comfortable in, but then outside of that, sometimes I don't feel as confident or competent because those experiences I haven't had as many. And as I had my last supervision with my supervisor at this private practice, she was just saying how, it's been so great seeing me grow throughout the year, and we spent a lot of time, especially as I was applying for internship, talking about how to be confident in my abilities, especially as I'm going into the interviews. And she was like, I really need you to understand how good you are at this. And she would say things like, you can't teach people the things that I've seen you do with your clients, or the kind of insight you have in working with children, or like the creativity and coming up with things to do in session. And it's not that I didn't believe her, I just didn't feel it. And then this past week in supervision, she gave me a gift, and it was really nice, and a card, and it said something along the lines of, I'm so glad to see that you believe in yourself as much as I do. And it really struck me as like, okay, not only does she see my competence and my ability to practice, but she also sees the confidence that I have in myself, which is really nice because I do feel competent and prepared. And even though I'm going into a completely new setting for internship, I don't feel as nervous as I did like going into this practicum year at private practice. And so I think that's just something that, having been in the program for 4 years, for me, it took me a while to feel like I knew what I was doing. And I think part of that is also just because COVID and the pandemic came during my second semester. And so the whole structure of the program just really seemed like it kind of got turned on its head, and it felt like, how am I going to learn anything when we can't even go to the settings we're supposed to be working in? But I feel confident, I feel prepared, I feel like I've gotten the training that I need for like having a foundational base, and then I have chosen or ranked, how the internship works. I wanted different experiences, I wanted something new, and I feel ready for it. And something that really made me feel good was when I was having my last sessions with my clients. It really struck me how much like being the child's therapist meant both to the children and to their parents, and how like sad it was to leave. But one of my teenage clients, I'm paraphrasing, but they basically called me cool and effective. And coming from a teenager, that is like that is going on my like testimonials wall. I am a cool and effective therapist. And then I was talking to my mom about some of the plans I had. This was a couple weeks ago, or maybe last week, about what I was planning to do for like some of the things that like a lot of my clients have anxiety. And I was like, oh yeah, you can do these types of things with kids, and like, you have to engage them and whatever. And she kind of paused a little bit, and she was like, you're gonna be such a good therapist. She was like, I can already tell that you are a good therapist, but she was like, you are so good at what you're already doing, and like, she was basically like, it's only up from here. And that meant a lot to me. She doesn't know anything about my clients. She doesn't know, she's never seen me in action, but I think hearing me talk about it, she was like, you got this, girl. And I felt that. But I just wanted to share that, because sometimes I think I've been fortunate that I get a lot of really good, like, positive reinforcement, a lot of great feedback and supervision and advising from my advisor and from supervisors. And no matter how much they tell you that you're good at something or that you are going to be good at something, you don't believe it. So it's nice for their belief in me, my belief in me, to finally come together and help me become the baby psychologist that I will become in a year, which is terrifying. But yeah, just wanted to share that brief thought, because I think it's not uncommon for us to feel that we don't, like, we're not going to do well. And like, my whole career I'll be learning for sure, but there was a point where I was like, I don't even know that I'm gonna be ready to be like ready for an entry-level job. Like, I'm terrified, and now I'm like, let's go, I can do it. So anyway, that's all I wanted to share, just like short-ish. But anyway, that's all. Live in your purpose, because I feel like I am living in my purpose. I'm living in the role that I sought out, and it doesn't feel so much like I'm kind of faking it till I make it. I still don't know a lot of things, but I feel more prepared.